Hello and welcome back to the Summoner's Guide to Final Fantasy XIV. This time we're going to play the other post-story, not part of the story, level 80 dungeon, Akademia Anyder. This is another fun little dungeon. I like the music of this one a lot. This, I think, was the easiest of the three level 80 dungeons released at the beginning of Shadowbringers. Alright. Let's get Reborn back out. This time, I did remember to pick up my relic weapon, so I'm going to be doing a lot more damage this time. Alright, trash pulls, again, not too much to worry about. They've got some wonky AoEs you're going to have to worry about. Making a pull this big can be tricky if you're not prepared, but at this point, gear is to the point where honestly, you're not going to have to worry about it as much. We should be able to take care of this without too much difficulty. But early on, tanks that made a pull this big very often ended up dead. It actually is quite a bit of damage that goes out. However, once you take care of this pull, the next pull is not very big at all. Oh, it happens. But obviously, we survived. Yeah, this pull really isn't anything compared to the last one. Again, early on, people would make it 3 pulls, take a lot of the early stuff, and then the stuff down at the bottom of the stairs, and then this pull here. Alright, this is actually not 1 boss, but 2 that will alternate out and do different attacks. I like staying kind of over here to the side of this one. Alright, so this guy does circle AoEs. I'm going to make sure I get that off before he jumps in the water. Alright, now the other guy's going to come out. That guy's going to jump in. And he's going to start swimming around. This guy does a cone AoE. So this other enemy is swimming around the arena, and eventually he's going to stop. Then he's going to jump out, and he's going to do his circle AoE right where he lands, like so. So stay away from that. You don't get any sort of telegraph time. The other boss will jump into the water. Then you're going to have that to worry about. Put it down the edge of the arena, because it's going to drop a puddle that you're going to have to concern yourself with. Alright, that was a complete waste. Okay, this guy's going to do a cone. So get over to the side, away from where his clone is going to be pointing. Then we're going to have him switch out, brush your dots, rinse, and repeat. You're just going to keep doing this until both bosses are down. The key, of course, is to just keep an eye on where the one that's in the water stops, and basically get 90 degrees away. Alright, first one's down, so now the second one is going to cast a buff on himself. But he's almost dead, so that's not going to be an issue. Not terribly difficult, but certainly interesting. Switching back to Garuda. Alright, I think I am gonna roll on these casting items because I looked at my inventory earlier and I do need better accessories. Again, I'm picking up tomes, and I'll be able to use them to get even better accessories, so I'm really not that concerned. Alright. This is another case where there's going to be 2 holes. Nothing out of the ordinary. Now that I actually have a relic weapon and I'm doing a fair amount of damage, in reality, between the relic weapon and the fact that you can actually buy level 480 crafted gear, high quality for really not a lot of gil, you can gear up pretty quickly after finishing the Shadowbringers storyline. Well, you can actually buy the crafted gear before you finish this main story. And the relic weapon after you finish the main story. I'm somewhere in the 450s item level wise, which is really high for the point of the content I'm at. It's higher. It's much higher than I would get just by getting the early tome gear. So, if you're just starting out at level 80, that's what I recommend you do. It'll give you everything you need to run the higher level content, including Eden. Alright, this guy is nothing you haven't seen before, just a few variants on some old familiar mechanics. Alright, spread out AoEs. Easy peasy. I like to stay on this ring in the middle. You're going to learn why in a moment. Alright, the extendable tendrils, you've seen this attack on a few bosses before. He's going to keep doing this several times though, so don't let your guard down. Always make sure you're getting in between the tentacles. Oh, and by the way, stay out of his front end, because he's going to end this with a frontal cone. Alright, Blossom is the attack you want to worry about. He's going to take 2 of these quadrants and put down a puddle AoE there. But if you're on this ring in the middle, you're safe. So that's why I don't generally recommend you stay on the ring. Oh, you know what? I should pay attention to mechanics. out of the way of the tentacles, but also stay out of the front end, and just stay on the ring. He's going to do the frontal cone, and you will know he's going to do the frontal cone because you kind of bunch up the tentacles on its sides. That ought to do it right there. Alright. So, yeah. And again, a fun little boss. Not terribly difficult. I'm getting all the casting gear. Which is fine. Jump my eye level up a few points. This, the accessories that you get from all three of the dungeons, Amaurot, Akademia Anyder, and the Twinning, are all equivalent to the item level of the relic gear that you get as part of the main story quest. So it's going to be quickly replaced as you start buying tome gear. These guys are a little tougher as far as trash goes. But as a caster, staying in the back and frying things, you're not going to have too big of a deal on it. But you may see the tanks acting a little more conservative with pulls here. I have seen some tanks try to go big here, but actually I think, yeah, that door does keep people from pulling beyond that point. Now here, you can pull to the end. Again, I've seen some tanks play conservatively here, but anymore, you should be able to make the big pull easily enough. What I didn't do that I really should have done? Again, these guys are a little tougher in terms of HP and doing some nasty attacks, and they'll throw some AoEs your way you're going to have to worry about, but still really nothing to write home about. I wanted to watch the intro to the boss for the Twinning, but I will go ahead and skip the intro to this one. As much of a Final Fantasy VIII fanboy as I am, and I am a huge Final Fantasy VIII fanboy, just laying that out there. But, so Final Fantasy VIII fanboy as I am, I was very thrilled to find our end boss of this dungeon to be Quetzalcoatl, the OG GF. Alright, so Quetzalcoatl, there's a couple mechanics you're going to have to concern yourself with here, mainly involving the orbs. Alright, so when he does this, you're going to see a lot of places where the little circles show up. Where the little circles show up, you're going to see orbs. You need to eat up the orbs, and as a DPS, you really want to eat up the orbs because the orbs are going to give you a damage up boost for a short period of time. So eat as many orbs as you can. Basically, wherever you see a lightning circle that is not on top of a player, you're going to see an orb. Very shortly after the orb spawn, you're going to see these wedge AoEs come out. Oh, never mind, you're not going to see him this time. Because he's going to do this. He's going to knock you to one end of the arena. Then he's going to give these expanding AoEs you don't want to get into. But you do want to get into the little circle here. Get right up underneath him so that you don't get yourself fried in those AoEs. And then do as much damage to him as you can. Rinse and repeat for the remainder of the battle. Alright, looky, more orbs. Pick up those orbs. Stay out of the AoEs. As soon as this wedge AoE attack is done, he's going to tether to those orbs and try to absorb them. And if he does, he gets buffed. You do not want this to happen. So, eat those orbs. They help you, and they don't want them to help him. You've now seen all the mechanics. Eat those orbs, and when you get knocked to one end of the arena, make sure that you quickly get underneath Quetzalcoatl ASAP. Wait for it to resolve. Eat that orb. Stay out of the cones. Now, when he does the knockback, you'll notice he becomes untargetable for a moment. So the worst thing in the world is for to have that happen while you're in the middle of a summon. And you probably don't want to do what I've been doing in this fight and using sprint at inopportune times. Saving your sprint when you will need to get underneath Quetzalcoatl is actually the better plan. And there you have it. Definitely the easiest of the level 80 dungeons in my opinion, but still a lot of fun. Alright, next I'm either going to charge into the 5.1 stuff, or maybe even do some recording of Eden. Whatever comes next, look forward to it, and have a wonderful day.